since I read it as soon as it came out, and I was waiting for a movie to come out. Um, and I heard down the line many directors were associated with it, Shyamalan, for example, then a few others, but never materialized. And finally, you. I just want to know what attracted you to the movie, or it came down to you. It has a lot of philosophical themes and everything. Did you ask for the movie, or did it come down to you? I just want to know.
It came to me, the movie.
Okay, okay, all right.
I read the book like you when they first came out. I really pretty much the same reaction like you had. I thought the book was fantastical and also mind-boggling. It's both adventure, incredible adventure, fantastical storytelling, and later part of the movie I realized it's a really a philosophical book that examines storytelling, not so much as you promised, a story that make you believe in God, but really discuss the power of storytelling. That's what I do. So it's an examination of illusion, which is more truthful to me than the things we can prove, the things we can touch. So I do have that feeling in life. So it haunted me for a long time, but I didn't pursue it. I knew it was an impossible movie to make. It would be so expensive. It just doesn't make sense that you make an endeavor try to bring on the big screen. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, Fox approached me. They said, this is available. We really, really want you. And as the executive would say, you're the only one in the world who can do this if it is possible. That's the way they talk, but I got triggered. And I said, no, you cannot make this. This is crazy. I don't believe you're going to put out the money to do something like that. And 8 months later, I was still thinking about it. I was thinking, how can I crack this thing down? As a avid filmmaker, I'm really curious. Not only physically it's impossible, but how do you create? Now, movies are illusional. It's a projection, and it's pretty mandatory on your attention. It's not like reading a book. It's indirect. It's right on your face. Big illusion. You don't want anybody out of the theater out of the story for even 1 second. And how do you examine the illusion by illusion? So that philosophical question really haunted me. And of course, some of the images that started to happen as I was thinking how to structure it, how I go about it, and I just got hooked. Then I had this naive thought, like all movie started with is a naive, silly idea. I thought if it's impossible, maybe if I add another dimension, for example, 3D, maybe it'll become possible. This is 3-4 years ago before I know what I was talking about. But it was a long journey. Fox approached me. They put trust in me. And it is a long, unfortunately, like Pi's journey is pretty painful. It's like no pain, no gain. Anything spiritual that derives from suffering, that's just a necessity. But I think the journey is really worth it.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee, it's so nice to have you down here in Chennai. So one thing we wanted
Really
to...
my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the team to come down here. One question which I wanted to ask you was, choosing 3D as your mode of making this film, was that a conscious decision right from the beginning, or did you decide somewhere down the line that maybe you could do it in 3D? Thank you, sir.
I just told you, it's right from the beginning. It's because of 3D. I thought in a normal movie business where this cannot happen. Not only kid, tiger, water, and then just the material itself it just doesn't make sense. It's like an irrational number like pi. But if I want to see the circle, I need to take a leap of faith. I need another dimension, not just 3D. Like making a Hollywood movie outside of Hollywood, I actually, the biggest part, Ocean Power is done in Taiwan. I had to create a studio and a wave tent to accommodate this, and I have to raise the bar of the CG work. And I thought that's not enough. How do you see through a movie that's adrift from across the Pacific without Tom Hanks? I have this unknown 60-year-old Indian boy, that's all I have. And a tiger I wouldn't see until like 3 years later. How do I do that? So 3D came to my mind. This is like 9 months before Avatar hits the screen. I didn't know what I was thinking, really. But I just thought maybe new media to stretch your imagination and create new possibilities. And I did my research, my homework. I believe that 3D will do water wonders. You have seen that. I think that dimension, the moving aspect in front of you will make you really feel that you drift with him. You go to the ply with him. So starting from there, then I realized 3D is this new illusion. It should not be just used as film gimmicks and action movies, because it's still expensive. Anything new, expensive action movie will do it first. The hacks, so to speak. The big motion, things with no artistic value will get to try it first. So people didn't have high opinion about that. But I think differently. I think it's time we should use that and legitimize it as an artistic media. So that's where my hair is going. But it took me a long time to persuade the studio, because it will add about 25 million US dollars as a cost. It's very hard to shoot, and the post-production is tedious. I persuade them that's worth it, because they think this is a literature property. Why would you want to do 3D? So unlike most of the time, the studio push directors to use 3D. This is the opposite. I persuade them that 3D with this movie is a big risk, but 2D with this movie, even though it's cheaper, but it's just simply a bad idea. And we struggle for a long time. There's a lot of mistrust, including my mistrust to the media. For a long time, I don't know what I'm seeing. It was very confusing. It's a new media. And I hope the 3Ds you see today, that's encouraging. I think we've come to a new era. We've got to see movie with two eyes, with a perspective that's different than a flat screen. You create perspective from there. Easy. It's like a breeze. But his part is difficult. It's not a question of Indian castle where you put anybody there. You put the world's greatest actor there. Everybody have a hard time, because he provides not only narration that should engage the story, but also the conclusion, which is philosophical and emotional. Movie is emotional, right? Unlike the book. So how do you say those philosophical points with emotion, but it can be examined from different angles? That cubicle sort of acting is, I was guessing too, but I hope you should ask him how difficult is it to work with the Chinese director of an Indian film. But otherwise, they're wonders. Tabu is as any great actress and movie star I ever worked with, and that's a true young talent. Actually, he carries the movie. For a long time, it takes about 6 months to shoot. There are 3 months we're doing the ocean part. Every shot is him, and we shoot in order because he has to lose weight, and we have to do a parallel journey like pies. We all go through the journey. Not only is alwaase dependable, he's always available every minute of it. It's very hard for anybody to do, let alone 17-year-old boy, Indian or not. He became the spiritual leader for all of us. We gathered some best filmmakers in the world, very sophisticated, but actually we're following him because it's about him. Every shot is him. Everybody's telling him what to do, but eventually he leads everybody. So he's really the spiritual leader and carrying the movie, which is a journey by itself. And Shravanti is a sheer pleasure. She's from here. She plays a dancer and nice, lovely. It's not in the book. by the way, but Yamatel likes that. It's like, oh, 16-year-old boy, what was I thinking? I think about all those philosophical poems. Of course, it's a 16-year-old. 90% of his lifetime is thinking about girls. That's his new religion. So I have vivid dancings and love interesting, puppy love, if you will, in 70s Pondicherry style. Very shy, something we're not familiar with anymore. Shyness, and it's a true innocent beauty that we found in this local town. I was very lucky to work with them. It's a brilliant Indian cast. I've been lucky with that front.
I'd like to ask a question, sir. I am Suraj's aunt, and I just would like to know, you have worked with so many acclaimed actors, all talented people, you have directed so many people, and now this new young boy. So how do you find, what is the difference? Is it easier, or what is your experience in working with new talent versus those who know how, who have been in the field for so long?
Suraj never acted in a movie. Actually, he never acted before. I'm sorry, I had to keep bringing this up, but he didn't even went to the audition. His younger brother did, but was too young. And the casting director said, "You over there, come on." Can you read this? And he actually got the part out of 3,000 kids. The beauty of young, innocent talents that they don't know this is not how the movie made. They thought every movie is made this way. They have no comparison, no references. Movie star, no movie star. It's the same for them, I assume. Suraj, correct me if I'm wrong. The big Hollywood movie or not, they don't know. Famous director or not, they don't know. They just they're afraid to screw up. That's all they need. So